Hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy For Now. It's me Isabel here with my mid-month wrap up because we're already halfway through August and I don't know where time is going this month. I feel so lost in the sauce, but it's fine because I've read a ton of things. If you're new here, in my mid-months we just talk about the books I've read, no stats, none of that. That'll all be there at the end of the month. But this month we had a DNF. I am trying to embrace my inner Heather and DNF more. And you know, I DNF'd a book. That book was King of Flesh and Bone. This is one that, how do I put this? I wanted to love. I thought the TikToks about it sounded great. I thought it was gonna be real dark and twisted and messed up, and maybe it did get there eventually. But for me, I got to the part that was making everyone freak out, which is she basically ends up in the King of Death's realm, trapped there by him, and she tries to escape, so he breaks her legs and then heals them like within pages. Which again, yes, that's domestic abuse. I'm not saying it's not, and like I'm not saying it's a great thing that should happen, but like this is supposed to be this really dark, twisted romance, and I was like, we're through that part already? Yeah, so this is a weird take. And I don't again, this book is not for everyone and I understand that, but I expected it to be so much darker than it was that for me, I was just like, we're gonna DNF this. Like after I got through that part, I was like, I have no desire to read this. I definitely just thought it was gonna be a lot more intense than it was after the hearing about the part that had people rightfully upset because it wasn't properly like content warninged or noted to people that might pick this book up. So if you are going to pick this up, it definitely centers a semi-abusive relationship in the beginning, and I'm assuming it gets better, but I don't know because I DNF'd it. It also features a woman who has been shamed for her inability to get pregnant and has to like watch her dead husband's body to make sure he doesn't come back to life because on a certain night, on a certain moon, the bodies reanimate. It's a whole thing. It was interesting. It just like, I don't know, I was bored. So I DNF'd it. I was like, I don't want to pick this back up. And I was like, we're gonna DNF her. So that is one of the first things I did in August was DNF this book. Next, I read Starfucker by Callie Decker. This is a newer author, pen name. There's somebody, they've not told us who they are, which is fine. And it's a really fun, spicy, erotic-y romance. I ended up giving this 4 stars total, and I really had a blast reading it. I started it on my flight home from a Polycon and finished it quickly thereafter once I was like resettled into life. But this follows a screenwriter and a celebrity she's had a crush on forever. She's like 36, he's in his 40s. So we do have a small age gap, but like it's refreshing. It was refreshing to read an age gap of people that were in their later 30s, to be honest with you, and 40s, not a 20-year-old marrying or dating a 45-year-old. You know, like it was nice. But it follows them. She wrote a movie and he's the star of the movie. She fought for him to be the star of it. She's always kind of had this crush on him, and that was part of who she imagined in the role, and so she got him the thing, and they're at the wrap party and she's making eyes at him, and he decides to finally approach. So he fucks her on a desk at the wrap party, like in a back office. So hot. And they continue their fast of banging in his suite and for weeks on end, and it slowly evolves into the relationship. This was really refreshing in my opinion as a read because it kind of had slightly different beats than other romances I've read recently. It just had a slightly different structure, nothing like groundbreaking, but just a little bit different. Also, there was pegging. He liked to be pegged, so that happened. There's like light DDLG in this. There's just a lot of kink being played with, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. It was just really fun, and they were just really cute as a couple. So if you're looking for that, highly recommend you pick it up. Next, I read Kink Camp Hunted, which was July's pick for my members. That blog is coming for y'all very, very soon. Very, very soon. I'm literally finishing the last book right now for that one, which I gave 4 stars. This is Primal play at its best. The entire book is themed around kink and a kink camp situation. And this one, the first one, follows a girl who goes to her first kink camp. She's at vacation. She picks up this anonymous note and decides to do some Primal play with a person who's in a ski mask. It's supposed to be one time and done, and of course, they end up doing more than one time. And then like by 60% you're just dying because you know who it is. Like you know who the guy is. You're just dying for the full reveal. I do want to give a quick content note here though. We do have a widowed hero who is very much dealing and grappling with that, as well as grappling with his own identity and with things. But it's so good. I really, really liked this one. And I'm thrilled I read it. I need the next book of this series as soon as possible. Then I read Allegiance of Honor, which is the last Psy Changeling book. This I gave a 3.5. I think it's a good conclusion, but it's weird because it's like not a conclusion, but it is to this series. It kind of just wraps up the storyline for the first 15 books. And I didn't hate it by any means, but I did not love it either, if that makes sense. It just kind of was missing something for me. I'm not really sure what that something was or is at the end of the day, but something was missing. Something was missing. That's all I got. And I'm curious to see where we go when I continue the series, but that's my biggest takeaway from it currently. Then I read Daddy Bod, which is by a new to me author. This I gave 3 stars. This is what I would equate to a Jessica Cain novella. It is about a girl who's 19. She is a cam girl to pay for college because her stepmom is terrible, of course, and she finds out that she's a cam girl and kicks her out of the house. So she moves in with this guy, Jonathan, who's like 46. Again, this is the like kind of squick, icky, at times age gap situation, but it was really enjoyable in this book for the most part. So she moves in with him into the spare room, and he discovers by accident that she's a cam girl and starts going to her streams and ends up buying up all her time, and she's fantasizing that it's him. So the reveal for this worked really well, and this is like a very, very quick, very smutty novella. Again, this is also DDLG kind of dynamic happening, and it ended up being way sweeter than I expected, but again, not something I'm like easily able to recommend. I do think it was a little better than many of the Jessica Cain novellas I've read, but like same thing, it's that sort of popcorny thing. They're never gonna be like 5 stars for me, but like they're still a fun read. I do want to give a quick content note on this for fat shaming and like shitty family behavior. So there's that. And then last book I read was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, a surprising read for me. This was also a member's pick, and it was a 4-star for me. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this. This is a dual timeline, so we're in the current day and the previous summers, and we are following their relationship back and forth. For me, this just hit at the perfect time, I think. I can see why people don't like it and why people did like it. I did not like Beach Read, and I definitely liked People We Meet on Vacation a lot more than Beach Read. I would call this a quiet romance. It does border on that fiction, non-genre romance fiction situation / book club fiction, as they're calling it sometimes now too. And I think that benefits it somewhat, but also makes it harder on those of us who are heavy romance readers. For me right now, my partner is very sick with the flu, we think, or something. And I've been like dipping in and out of my books a lot, and this was kind of that kind of book that I could dip in and out of easily and still follow the plot and know what was going on, which I found very beneficial personally, which I think also is part of why I liked it. I also felt like it was very low angst in a way I wasn't expecting, because I feel like Beach Read was kind of angsty, but this was definitely not as angsty, and I felt like Poppy and Alex just suffered from miscommunication at the end of the day, and I wish that they'd been better at communicating, but also it was understandable that they weren't at times. So yeah, I mean, like 4 stars, like it's good. I think if you didn't like Beach Read, you would like People We Meet on Vacation, and I think if you loved Beach Read, People We Meet on Vacation isn't probably not gonna work for you. Curious to pick up Book Lovers at some point, but yeah, I'm surprised that I enjoyed this as much as I did, because like I said, after Beach Read, I really never thought I'd like Emily Henry's books. Next, let's talk about the ridiculous amount of manga I've read this month. So Shay over at Shay Geeks Out and Maeve are doing a Tackle Your TBR challenge, which has encouraged me to pick up more things. Don't worry, 30 and 30 news coming soon. Well, you got a couple months, but yeah, we will be having another round of 30 and 30. Maybe around someone's birthday. I don't know whose. Maybe the person talking to you is. Who knows? You'll find out. But I just was blowing through manga, especially with my partner. I'm sick and just kind of being not burnt out on books, but just very tired post a Polygon. So I read volumes 2 through 4 of Love and Heart, which I have enjoyed so far. This is like a weird stalker dark romance manga, and I'm enjoying it so far. I'm continuing to read it digitally until I decide what I really think of it to know if I want to collect it physically or not. because it's kind of like, I like it, but do I like it enough to own it? I'm not positive. But this follows a boy and a girl who were friends as children. He lived next door to her. He ends up living in her house with her while they're in college, and it's an interesting time to say the least. And we definitely have some, I don't know, I'm very like unsure where it's going, and I feel like it's taking a while to get there, but I'm very curious to see where we're going when we get there, if that makes sense. Then I read volumes 2 and 3 of Cheeky Brat, which I loved. Cheeky Brat is quickly becoming one of my favorite mangas as it releases. It follows the older classman. She's a second year at the beginning of the story, and he's a freshman or a first year type thing, and he has a crush on her and he's pursuing her, and she's like trying to figure out if she likes him back or not. And it's really, really cute how it's playing out so far. I'm really enjoying their dynamic, and I think it's very funny. I giggle in this manga a lot, and it just kind of has the same shojo energy I really like when we're dealing with these, but on the flip where it's an older girl and a younger boy. I mean, she's not that much older, but still, it's just. I also read volumes 2 through 5 of Skip and Loafer. If you like high school setting shojos with a romance plot that isn't the center of the story, and the center of the story is more friend groups and adapting and growing up and like that stuff, Skip and Loafer is for you. If you have not picked up Skip and Loafer, you need to pick up Skip and Loafer. I devoured these 4 volumes so quickly, and when I got through 2, I knew I had to pick up 4 and 5. I knew I had to pick up 4 and 5 to read as quickly as possible because I already owned 3. So like I picked those up. I'm so sad I'm caught up now, but I'm also happy I am, because they just continue to follow like different chunks of the school year, and volume 5 ends with like some thoughts about feelings for other people, and that was really cute. But again, I don't feel like the relationship plotline is the center of the story. I feel like it's more about like friendship and finding yourself and figuring out your life as you move into high school. All of those were like 5 stars for me as well. Then I read volume 2 of Catch These Hands. This was a really cute continuation, and I really enjoyed where the story's going. I'm excited for volume 3. Don't have a ton to say about this one, but we just continued on from 1 in a really fun way. So absolutely enjoyable. Highly recommend if you like your Yuri or Sapphic mangas and you want that high school rivals now grown up and dating. Then I read volume 9 of Something's Wrong With Us. I have no words for volume 9 of Something's Wrong With Us, besides the fact that I desperately need volume 10 in my hands, which it comes out today, the day this video goes live. I'm 99% sure, and as soon as it is at my house, I will be reading it. So I will be talking about it in my end of month wrap up, because I cannot wait. Like, I literally cannot wait for volume 10 to be in my hands. This was an amazing volume. I feel like every volume I finish, I'm like, what the fuck? And give me the next volume immediately. So that's where we're at right now, and I am very, very curious to see what is going to happen in volume 10, because the way we left volume 9, I gotta know immediately. Then I read Those Not So Sweet Boys, volume 7. This is by one of my quickly becoming a favorite mangaka. This follows a group of 3 boys who are friends, and they're kind of delinquents, skipping class and stuff, and this girl gets assigned to reel them in and get them to come to class, and it's her romance with one of the boys in the group. And we have a bit of a love triangle situation, and it's just really, really sweet and cute, and I loved how it played out. It worked out really, really well. And volume 7 was our conclusion. I gave it 5 stars. I loved how it ended. I think it made sense. It worked for me. It was just one of those endings that I was like, this is what I wanted out of this. So I'm very happy about that. Last, I read Bite Maker volume 5. So we ended volume 4 of Bite Maker on a really big cliffhanger around potential rape. So volume 5 resolves that very quickly, just as an FYI, and then ends on quite the reveal, like a huge reveal. So I'm now like, can I have volume 6 now? Like, I need to know where this is going, because we get reveals about the girl they're all interested in. So yeah, I gave this 4 stars because the rape at the end of volume 4 still was like happening at the beginning of volume 5, and I'm glad it was fixed, like handled, and didn't actually happen. But it just was like weird. I don't know. I'm just like not sure, but I am very curious to check out volume 6. Next, we have my current reads. So what is on my currently reading shelf on Goodreads right now, and where am I at in these books, and what do I think so far? So I am currently reading The Crescent Spell. This is a Howl's Moving Castle inspired book. This is like fantasy, romance, why choose romance, and There's definitely some cute, fun references to Howl's Moving Castle in this. If you watch the movies and you know them, you will notice the references. They're really fun. If you have no idea, I still think this is a fun, interesting world happening. And I'm about 75% through. I will be done with it probably the day this video goes up. But I'm really enjoying it. It's really fun. It's very cute. I really like the dynamic of the 3 different guys. So we have Cal, Avon, and Ian, and then we have Briar, our female main character. She is like kind of unsure of things at the beginning and then is slowly like coming into herself as you read the book, which I really enjoy. I always love that kind of self-discovery, and there's some interesting magic happening and things like that. So it's one of those books that, like I said, if you are interested in that, what I'm describing, you know if this interests you or not. If it does, I do think you would enjoy it. Then I am also working on finishing up A Farewell to Charms, which is the last book in the Mystic Bayou series. My Audible Plus access ends in like 2 days. This is like, I have like an hour and a half left in it. I barely started it. So I will be finishing that up this week, probably in the next day, because I want to finish it before I lose access to it, because I would like to like conclude this series. But so far it's really, really cute. I don't have a ton of thoughts. These are such quick, short novellas that they're a fun time. And if you have Audible Plus, I definitely think they're a good one to pick up if you're into paranormals. Then I'm reading Dodging Energy Vampires. This is a nonfiction book that talks about how to navigate life and avoid people who drain you. I am not super far. I'm slowly making my way through it. It's one of those ones where like I'm reading a chapter-ish a day or every other day and like really absorbing it and digesting it. I'm highlighting a lot. I think I need to get a physical copy, to be honest with you. I don't have a lot to say about this one either. I think if it speaks to you, it's one that you should pick up. You know, it's nonfiction, so it's kind of weird to talk about. But yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. If you're somebody who considers himself pretty empathic or heavy on like giving a lot of yourself to people, I think it's a good one to read because it kind of helps you think about the things you're giving up sometimes. Then I have Island Affair that I'm reading. This is also a members book club pick from June. I'm very behind. Normally I'm not this behind, but life, summer, chaos. I started this literally last night and I'm really, really liking it. It's a very cute fake dating / fake fiance situation. She lands and finds out, like she lands in Key West, finds out her fiance or supposed fiance, her boyfriend type, is not going to come on this trip that is all about her mom having recovered from cancer. And she meets this firefighter and talks him into fake dating her. And I'm really curious to see where this goes. I'm already super hungry for Cuban sandwiches because they are eating Cuban sandwiches like in chapter 3, and I was like, oh, so I'm probably gonna be eating Cuban food in the next week because I like can't read about it and not eat it. So we'll see how that goes for me. But so far it's really cute and I'm curious to see how the rest of it unfolds. I love a good fake dating, so I'm curious again to see how this plays out differently than other ones. And like how this works out because he's a local, so people know him. So that part also has me like just a little bit confused on how that's gonna work out. But yeah, that is everything I'm reading right now. That's everything I've read this month so far and I'm currently reading. Let me know in the comments if you're gonna pick up any of my current reads or if you're curious about any of them. And if you don't wanna do that, leave me a rose emoji in the comments. I will have links to all these books in that description box, as well as links to Be My Friend anywhere on the internet, and I will talk to y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll get